What is going on, guys? We are back with another video today on Madden 22, and we are doing another realistic rebuild, this time of the Washington football team, a team that you can make an argument doesn't technically need a full rebuild, but rather a reload. But there are a couple of positions that are in need, one of the biggest ones being the offensive line. They have an okay line, but obviously we need a tackle. Cosme in real life could be the guy, but as far as Madden concerns go, he's just not. There's just no chance that he is going to develop here, which it kind of begs the question of maybe just give all first round. Well, I don't even know if was he a first rounder or was he like a high second? I think he might have been a high second. But just give all first and second round linemen hidden if you're not going to give them breakout chances, because I mean, what am I supposed to do with this? This is a waste. You know, I have a Dolphins franchise coming up, hopefully soon, and I have Liam Eichenberg, or whatever his name is. He's 23. He's normal. I don't even care about him. But left guard Eric Flowers, a guy that has improved with his play coming to Washington, but still a guy that's, you know, not consistent enough, and a guy we are going to be replacing. And then Leno, a new addition, only normal. I have no idea what kind of, like, long-term. It doesn't seem like a long-term deal. Terry McLaurin, the guy that has been, I wouldn't say underrated at this point. He's kind of fairly adequately rated, like, which is a good thing. You know, he's rated pretty high, 89 overall. I'd say that's pretty fair. Diami Brown, a guy that I don't even know actually got involved that much in real life, but of course a rookie with high potential. And then Ryan Fitzpatrick, a guy that had injured, but even before injury, he's kind of just like, okay, well, look what we did last season in the playoffs. If we even had someone that was even like a Jay Cutler type, we might have actually went to the Super Bowl, maybe even won the damn thing. This defense is insane. The offense has potential, and that may be true, but Fitzpatrick isn't it. I think, honestly, they just kind of got cucked in the draft. The spot that they could have maybe made a play to trade up for Justin Fields was just littered with divisional rivals, and, you know, maybe you can argue that, the Dallas and Philly trade, you know, it wasn't as guaranteed that Philly was going to maybe take a chance on a quarterback, but if Washington's trading up here, I can't imagine it's for anyone other than a quarterback, and if I'm a division rival, I'm like, no, sorry, Washington, you can give me, well, maybe if you give me 5 first-round picks, but yeah, I mean, I would assume Washington, even if they wanted to trade up, wouldn't have given up more than 2 total first-round picks, but maybe they should have. As far as the defense goes, talk about stacked. Obviously, Landon Collins, in Madden at least, is a bit overpaid. You know, he's definitely an expensive guy for being a 79 overall. William Jackson, decent. Realistically, is how much can we, you know, hold on to this team? There's a lot of defensive tackles that are getting paid left and right. I think Ioannidis is just automatically going to be gone because they already paid Allen and Payne, if I'm not mistaken. Chase Young, obviously a superb talent. Montez Sweat, very high potential, super speed guy. And then linebackers, you got a couple of names here. Jamin Davis being the primary one. Definitely something we need to address. So realistically, quarterback number 1, linebacker number 2, O-line number 3, 4, maybe 5, and then safety. But realistically, it's not a team in a bad spot, but you know us, we want to rebuild every single team. They're playing today on a Thursday night game. Why not, right? Just get her in there. That's, hey, those instructions are questionable. Of course, I do know about Curtis Samuel, but I believe he is on IR, so we'll make a return of him maybe at the end of the season or near, you know, halfway through the season. But yeah, unfortunate blow there, especially on an offense that needs all the help it can get, considering, once again, they're kind of inadequate quarterback play. So we have some re-signings. Brandon Sheriff, you might as well get that out of the way because you're not going to let your best lineman go. Well, I mean, I suppose in Washington you might. I'm sorry, Trent Williams. You guys are like, please, Washington fan here, if there are any that exist. Yo, Charles Leno is kind of baller. He is actually really talented. These have got to be the best offensive lineman ratings for someone under 80 I've ever seen. Of course, I didn't actually bench Ryan Fitzpatrick because I'm going to be honest with you, it doesn't matter. All 3 of the starters on this roster have no chance of being long-term for us in Madden. It just won't happen, simply put. Also, Tim Settle, another guy that's kind of like, you know, underrated. Really good ratings for a guy that's only a 75 overall. Bull Rush even has swim move, which is interesting. A 2-year 10. This team likes their 3 DTs, and I think we're going to get rid of Ioannidis next season. I think he's still here for 1 more year, which is clutch because we can trade him off for something potentially significant, maybe like a mid-second, high second, trying to compare, him to DeForest Buckner, maybe like a late first, probably high second, to be honest. Old Dusty, not a bad kicker, but of course, somebody that's kind of a little too old to continue playing, in my opinion. How will it affect the team? I don't know, but Cole Holcomb is a star development trade player and maybe a candidate for re-signing. Now, headed to the playoffs is a very weird situation, especially when you factor in the massive choke that the team put on. Oh, look at Jameis Winston over there as a Packers fan. I love to see it. It hurts because as a Packers fan, it makes me sad, the things that happen. But as an NFL fan and a fan of redemption, it's really nice to see. I don't know how to feel. But of course, we were like, I think 4-0 at the beginning of the season, winning against some decent teams. The Chargers, the Giants. So already, not true. I'm not going to be changing results of how the real-life season goes. It's one thing I really hated about rebuilds last year. I think maybe once we get to like the playoffs, perhaps we'll do that, or maybe mid-season. But for right now, of course, I'm not going to force the loss, which actually would have helped us. It is what it is. But massive choke on the season against the division rivals. Is this really how the NFL scheduled this? How sad. 5 straight divisional opponents? This had to be a big talking point, and I just missed it. Cowboys, Eagles, Giants. Wow, a lot of creativity went into that freaking... They were like, it's the NFC East, who cares? I don't know. But looking at the season, Ryan Fitzpatrick, a lot of yards, touchdowns are meh, picks are meh. I think we might do what the Washington football team didn't have the balls to do, and we may just trade the whole damn house for a quarterback if there's one that looks good. Once again, this is a realistic style, so if there's one of you guys who are like, it's really easy to trade up, all you have to do is... No, it's realism. So if it's not a realistic trade, we don't want it. But that being said, maybe Matthew Ioannidis can make it a little less of a blow on us. Tom Brady, the MVP of the NFC, and nobody for us with Washington. Once again, I looked at it, I was like, man, this season's kind of going a little bit too well, maybe. Coaching for Washington, I don't think you change anything, right? Like, I think you keep that squad together. They just need a quarterback, and, who knows what happens. Packers versus Ravens. Packers. Likely story. Oh, they won the Super Bowl. Lol. I know it's just one game, but when it's that bad, oh my God, that's awful. But this is what the team looks like. Curtis Samuel, of course, did not play at all. It doesn't matter, right? And maybe we could have won some more games, but who knows, right? I mean, if they put him on IR, it's got to be pretty bad. Samuel Cosme got replaced here, but overall he played the full season. We do need a tight end as well. We need a quarterback, obviously, first and foremost. Defensively, I can now see why Cole Holcomb becomes a superstar often. The thing is, he usually asks for about 10 per, and I don't know if I feel great about that. Kendall Fuller getting superstar is so damn clutch. And then Jonathan Allen, I believe, was already superstar, right? He was. It's a good defense. Got better. I mean, let's see if we can fill the needs on offense. That's the big issue here. Which is funny, because if you actually look at the numbers, they're actually pretty even. Maybe even the defense played worse than the offense. And Ryan Fitzpatrick, a 1 year, $8 million is actually probably pretty fair for a guy that played as well as he did. 39 years old, though. I don't want to, make him better because, at the end of the day, he did regress. I can't, dude. The regression is just going to say that, it's just going to make it realistic to the point where it's that he just had a bad, season, even though he didn't. It is what it is. Quarterbacks always do well in sim. He's just a little too old for me to correct, I think. Devontae Adams go to free agency, not a surprise. Chandler Jones to free agency is probably not happening after the way he started. We'll see how he finishes, obviously. Marcus Williams, a guy that, the Saints have got to lose someone, right? At some point, they're just not going to be able to afford everyone. So could he be one of the casualties? Probably. We do need tight end. I'm not seeing it. Any quarterbacks just to make me feel okay? Just to make me feel all right. Cam Newton. I said it, and it was kind of a joke, but Cam Newton to Washington wouldn't be bad for their PR and just in general, a guy that, I mean, why not, right? He's still good enough. Why not? Better than what we've got going on. I don't want to offer him more than a 1-year 4, though, as I just don't think that's something he would get. Jameis Winston, who knows what that overall could be by the end of the year? Maybe 83, 84, or higher? Will, the Saints be able to afford him? Who knows? Yeah, these contracts are not making me feel good about Cole Holcomb. But if he played like he did, it's realistic to keep him for another year. You can't just trade someone because you can't afford them the next year. If they're really good and they're up and coming like that, you got to keep them and then try to find a way if you can. Unfortunately, it's just going to be a straight up loss for us, I know, but that's the realistic thing to do. Damn, we lost the right guard, Alex Kappa. It was like a 3-year 24. He was a 78 overall star. He was 27, but still good enough. Daniel Carlson, 3-year 8 mil, and Tariq Cohen, a 3-year 7. I feel like this team's missing a little bit of shiftiness out of the backfield. I think it could be a decent fit, especially for a team that's going to be drafting some sort of quarterback, obviously. And we have 2 guys. It is rare for us to see anything in the draft report these days, and we got one. Ooh. There are a lot of quarterbacks here. Early second. Okay, so I don't think we need to trade up at all. This is a win. I'm going to put them all on the list, though, just because I want to make sure we get somebody. We have 3 players guaranteed to be available to us, and 2 of them are kind of like safety nets. I would say Rob Jackson is probably my number 1, but a smaller type of guy. Do I not want to just go with the accuracy in Joseph McKinney? The problem is the talent grade's not great. Windsor. I mean, you're really just hoping for the dev, and I don't know. Do you just make a play for Greg Cody because he has the best talent grade? I have no idea. This is the reason why we have them all on the list. But we don't have to trade up, so that's a positive. There's a lot of quarterbacks. That's insane, the amount of quarterbacks there are. Of course, as a solid player, it says elusive, but I mean, at that size, that really is his style. And look at this. We don't even need a wide receiver. He'd be a perfect fit, though, because we need a bigger guy around here. Wait, how thick is this man? Really weird question to ask, but 2-2-3. Can you make the argument for tight end? I mean, maybe. So we're in a weird spot because we don't know who's going to be taking quarterbacks. Like, the Saints are probably going to be one of them because, of course, they do not have Jameis. The Steelers would probably be one of them. The Raiders could be one of them. The Lions could be one of them. The thing is, I mean, all of these quarterbacks are still here. Greg Cody, late first, mid-first talent grade. We have an option of 5 quarterbacks with only really one of them being someone I wouldn't want to take. And you can almost maybe say that that's McKinney behind Windsor. Rob Jackson's the guy that, gets my eye going. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but Greg Cody is really solid. I just don't want to make the wrong choice. Mid-first, late first. Rob Jackson's a late first. He's the fastest by far. I like the speed. Washington was enjoying a bit of speed as well. Rob Jackson, is he my guy? Let's trade down. I'm gonna look at all the teams. So you have the same. Man, you do have a lot of teams. Let's actually trade down with the Lions because we'll still automatically get a guy, and they will likely take a quarterback here, giving them a reason to trade up. I'm just so indecisive. I don't know. I really don't. We actually make a massive trade. 17 and Ioannidis to Detroit for 21, 38, and 70. They have themselves a franchise quarterback coming up. And let me take a look at their DT. I mean, a big position of need. Of course, we just did a Lions rebuild. Maybe check it out. Maybe subscribe as well. We do a ton of franchise stuff. If you're enjoying this one so far, maybe leave a like on it. And the quarterback selection is Parker Butler. Not the worst choice out of all of them. Let's see the quarterback here. It is not a quarterback. Who do they actually have? Who the hell do the Saints have that they didn't draft a QB? Come on, EA. You have teams taking quarterbacks that don't need one, and then teams that do need one, you don't. Cap, maybe? Come on, EA, please. I might actually have to start just like teams that absolutely need a quarterback, I might have to just start removing their current one. Like Teddy Bridgewater, I don't see it happening, but fair enough. But the Saints needed one, right? Like, they absolutely needed one. And, of course, the Steelers that are going a new route, they still go with one. Oh, my. And we could have gotten cucked there. We still would have had Windsor. We're not making any more risks. We're just going to take Rob Jackson, the absolute speed demon god. 74 overall hit. Instead, we reached. We did not. Okay, throwing stats, but here's the main one. What is that speed? 91 speed. I think you can make an argument that he's even faster than that, but an absolute beast. What is that, Dev? I wouldn't be able to tell you, but let's go to our next pick. There was a couple of selections here that I really liked. Harold Martin to the Chargers is a huge, massive win, and the first-round tight end is still there. We obviously need tight end badly, but I do not know how I feel about that guy specifically. Do we take him? Kerry Zeitler, decently fast. He is 6'3" only, though. I don't know, dude. This is so tough. Why would he have slipped to the second round if he's not a bust? Screw it, we're going to take him. Thank you. Thank you for that blue little diamond, because I saw 73 and I was like, we sold, but we didn't sell. We have a new starting tight end. Logan Thomas is old. I don't want to hear it. For our mid-second, no! That was my choice, Brian LeCount. He was a guy with high hopes, really solid regular season performer, but struggled in the combine, looked really good, and unfortunately that means nothing because, of course, he's gone. And I suppose with that selection, we're going to be taking Mr. Eric Buckner to potentially fill one of the safety needs in the future, and he's a 73 overall normal. We went from having a 77 overall cornerback to replace William Jackson once he's gone to just an absolute bust of a safety. Of course, still potential, still young, but man, that hurts. That just straight up Jalen. Yes, I said that. I'm sorry. Okay, yes, I made it. Yes, okay. We trade 70, 113, and 113 next for pick 54 from the Niners, which is going to be a tackle who looks decent, not really guaranteed, but solid enough. Sterling Owens, please be good, buddy. And he's a 71 overall normal. Of course, a very solid-looking 71 overall normal and an automatic starter, but no hidden is so unfortunate. Go to pick 17. We do not have another pick till the 6th round, so this has to be a pick that counts. Of course, a very sick running back. Not the biggest need, though. Cornerback being probably one of the top needs compared to what we have left. I think you got to take him. Vernon James, late 5th. Maybe a little early, though, so we're going to try to get to the start of the 4th. Tampa's offering us the best trade, so we will be taking it moving down to 91, which should still be able to land us that corner. These players do go pretty high if they're talented, so we're going to be taking this guy. No questions asked. Vernon James, see what we can get, and we get a 73 overall normal. Definitely a solid player. Could already be the number 3 right out the gates. But yeah, missing LeCount is massive, and I really do not want to see, what we really missed out on. Any linebackers left? There are none. We came out with no linebackers. Yikes. We got a pick next year for our pick there, and honestly, at this point, we're kind of just grabbing anyone. We're going to take a slot-type wide receiver, Mr. Brandon Hewitt. Not bad at all for a random shot in the dark. Actually, really solid, all things considered. And we're going to go to pick 17 now, where we will be selecting potentially a new punter. And that punter is going to be Eric Wise, 63 overall, and that pick was not very Eric Wise. Yep, I said it. So obviously a lot of misses, but we did have a couple of hits, and the main one being the quarterback. The question is, how big of a hit was it? Obviously, there was a lot of quarterbacks to choose from. How much did we sell? Let's just take a look from here. So first pick overall was a Giants quarterback, Nolan Donaldson. Very low overall, and of course, on top of that, a -3 morale already. Just for joining the Giants, you just get depressed. Right out the gate, you just want to leave. Superstar Dev, they got themselves a winner. Another quarterback to the Texans. Another realistic choice, however, not a good one. as they get a normal dev guy. Not bad, but obviously a little bit slower of a start because of that dev. Parker Butler, 74 overall, hidden, decently fast. This is a very solid-looking quarterback. Kind of gives me Deshaun Watson vibes. Let's take a look at the dev on the man, and it is a superstar. Kind of hard to compete with superstar. Greg Cody, the guy I thought was going to be the best out of the bunch that we had a choice to go for. Of course, in a user league, completely different story, but here, let's take a look. His development trait is only star, so the guy the Lions traded up for so far is by far the best. I don't want to look at our guy first. I really don't. I just don't. Joseph McKinney, normal as expected. What about Windsor? Where's the Windsor? Here's Windsor. And normal, the Packers, though. All right, so we were correct on everything, but how correct were we about our own guy, the fastest of the bunch? What was that dev? That Lions guy looks really good. How much do we regret it? We regret it a little bit, but overall, we still did land a decent player. Now, of course, we got to go back to our selection so we can see how good the tight end was. And then, obviously, to Seattle, I believe, where that corner went. Kerry Zeitler, very, very good tight end, just for based on athleticism. He's 21 years old. Did we get ourselves a super steal? And we still did, but obviously only star again. And we didn't get another hidden development trait player, which really sucks. LeCount, hidden for sure, right? Okay, so only normal. Not bad, obviously, but fair enough. Normal development trait, that's really good. But the guy we got in the, was it the 4th, I believe, was also pretty good, just normal as well. So fair enough. Could have been worse. All right, so this is what the team looks like for year 2. I really wish we could have addressed more on the offensive line. If we would have got that free agent, it actually wouldn't have been, too bad. Could have saved 10 mil with Eric Flowers, maybe even have traded him off for even like a 6th-round pick. But instead, we don't. The right tackle, of course, was a little underwhelming because he's not hidden, but actually a really good player and pretty young at 22 years old. New tight end, new quarterback, of course. Receivers are set. Defensively, we have a potential new strong safety with Buckner, and even though it was kind of joked about in real life, and Landon Collins, I'm not really a huge fan of going to linebacker. It's either you play linebacker, or you're gone. Your cap number is too high for your production. I mean, it is what he's like. You know what? It's fine. Let me go. I'll take that $6 million. But yeah, we would save more money releasing him. But overall, I'm going to play him at linebacker. If it doesn't work out, we look for a new linebacker, simply put. Terry McLaurin is looking for some cash, and I mean, looking at what players are being paid at his position around the league, that's actually a very fair contract, and maybe even a steal for us. Speaking of Deron Payne, I thought this was a guy that actually got a long-term deal in real life. Might have to take a look at this, which of course I hope he doesn't, because every single player getting paid that's young in real life is getting cash money. Did they not? Maybe it was Ioannidis and I just completely sold and I just traded him off. Was it? It might have been. Either way, Deron Payne's going to get a 5-year deal worth about $70 million. Let's make it 70. Just make him feel better. Similar to that Marshawn Lattimore contract that they gave. It's like, really? You're going to screw him out of getting to $100 million? Just give him $100 million. Montez Sweat, that's it's a fair contract. It's just, can he actually play up to it? Cole Holcomb even is actually asking for less than I've seen before, but look at the money. The money is disappearing. However, we do have a couple of contracts that are kind of leaving. I'm going to give it to him. I like the way Cole Holcomb's playing for us. Thank you. So we have about 7-8 mil, but our left guard, he'll be gone after this year. That's 10 mil saved. Landon Collins could be another 15 mil saved after the year is over. I mean, we have some guys that are going to be gone that are replaceable and, of course, very expensive. Yes, we're seeing the results from Buckner. 10K XP. There's no shot it's happening again. There's no shot. It happened again. It legitimately happened again where we choked the season and missed the playoffs. You've got to be kidding me. Stop the choke. We lost the 3 of the last 4. I know the Browns and the Packers are good and hell the Jags at this point might be decent, but please, Washington. Maybe this isn't as easy as I thought. Maybe, which is good. I like that. Receiving leaders, Mike Weldon. Okay, kind of quick glance. I thought it was Windsor leading something, but he didn't lead anything. Very good touch on a pick ratio, but overall did not really play that well. Gibson didn't play that well. I'm using the Washington playbooks and schemes because, it kind of looked like it was doing pretty well for the first year, and it may be time to change those up a little bit. Something more, I don't know, maybe like, I don't know. I really don't. But of course, pass rush, not the greatest numbers, but we had a couple of guys with, double digits, which is nice. But Sweat and Payne, I'd like to see do a little bit better. I know Payne's not really a pass rusher per se, but Sweat more so, I suppose. Vernon James with 3 interceptions. Kendall Fuller with 3 as well. Kicking Daniel Carlson, huge signing there. That is a very big win. Tariq Cohen, another big win signing, as obviously he's our return man, our backup running back. Elliott wins the MVP award. Rob Jackson and Vernon James with Rookie of the Year award wins. Nice. I don't think either will dev up, though, and I'm not going to force the dev on either because I really don't think either deserves it. Super Bowl between the Chiefs and the Buccaneers. Haven't seen that one before. I'm glad to see some new teams finally showing up. And the Chiefs win. Okay. At least it's a new result this time, I suppose. So, no dev-ups on offense. Not a shocker. Zeitler, get in there. I really don't like that name for tight end because I just, Kevin's name over the time is just pissed me off enough the way it is. Because it's like, is it Zeitler? Is it Zeitler? Chase Young gets back to an X Factor as he deserves so. And Vernon James actually does go to star. So that's a, nice little sneaky surprise. Just like when I poop myself in my sleep. That was actually quite sexy. Landon Collins and Eric Flowers, we need to get rid of both of them. I don't know if you've seen it, but it said like negative 1.4 mil in available cap. But apparently we have 12 mil now. Okay, so numbers are fluctuating. Who gives a damn? So Flowers, we actually don't even have to release. He's just gone. Taylor Heineke, we enjoyed the little fun you brought us, but overall it's just not going to work out, old man. So 12 mil to work with. I think you have to release Landon Collins, though. Let's actually take a look at how good he played. So, first things first, we're screwed, right? Going forward, we have to pay William Jackson's gone. Can we actually release him now? We could. I don't like that, though. I really don't like it. Fuller, we want to keep. Leno, I still like him. I just, he's fine. Curtis Samuel, I think we're going to let go. Logan Thomas is being paid a lot. Please. Damn it, son. So, yeah, we're in a bit of a spot, unfortunately, but we can get rid of Landon Collins, and that's it. That's all we can do is just get rid of Landon Collins. We're going to do so, saving 11 mil in the process. A decent bit of cap space to potentially replace somebody. I'm not exactly sure who I want to spend the money on, though, other than maybe O-line. We may just save it for some of the guys we do have to pay. So, Tyreek Hill will be sick. I don't see him leaving Kansas City unless Mahomes is gone. Zedarius, there's a lot of really sick players here, but who is there for the right price? And so far, I'm not seeing any. Yay! They made a huge trade for him, and he went to Superstar. They have all the money in the world. Why would they leave? Well, maybe they don't, but why would they let him go when they have enough money? I don't get it. J.C. Treader, he doesn't have the thickness necessarily for guard, but he's playing guard, damn it. Anya Mata looking really good, actually. It's always good when you're Anya Mata. Jamel Dean kind of feels like a William Jackson signing at this point, so I'm going to kind of steer clear of that. Overall, I think we're just going to go for the center, maybe find one more lineman if we can, and just play it safe from there, save the rest of the money for these re-signings that we need to make. All right, it's the start of the first round. We have pick 18. Oh, please don't tell me that was my middle linebacker. Don't tell me that was mine. Okay, so we have both of our players there. Clock's draining, no one cares. Of course, our tight end was pretty decent, but wait a minute. I don't even remember looking at the stats. Did we look at receiving stats? Thank you, hold A to reorder. I don't remember looking at our tight end. Zeitler and Logan Thomas kind of split, which maybe makes sense, but okay. That tight end looks really good, but obviously we just drafted one high in the second, and he was worth every penny. Hey! Stop it. There's some really good players here, but I do not think there's a bigger player or need than the guys we have here. I wish we needed DT. But Tom Rosenberg, the guard, who could start as a tackle right out, day one, or the middle linebacker, Devontae Williamson, who looks really good himself, a very big need linebacker. But the problem with him is he's a little bit slower. I mean, I kind of want someone super athletic like Jamin Davis. I'm going to go Rosenberg. We're going to get it I'm face palming. I was about to say we're about to get a god, and he is a very good lineman, but he is not hidden. And now I want to be hidden from the world. Like, look at this DT. What's Jonathan Allen looking like these days? What's this man? I mean, he's so good, though. Like, we cannot afford him at all, but I want to know what his contract situation is. Oh, maybe it was Jonathan Allen I'm thinking of that got paid, and it wasn't Duran. But yeah, we can't afford everyone. And, okay, so we have our DTs for the future. We do not need any, and that sucks because that guy's insane. But I suppose all we can do is just watch from the sidelines. I can't believe we actually sold that hard. Like, the freaking, what is it called? The Patriots right now are about to get a steal at middle linebacker. They just lost Dante Hightower. I'm about to fill him with Williamson, and they do not. Okay, I want to see how good that middle linebacker is, but I'm not trading up to 18 or 20, whatever it is. We have a pick in the second round here. Maybe this is where we take a guy. Brian Chambers, maybe a late third. I think we have to take a risk on somebody. Mac Belton, I can't tell if he's a pass rusher or not. He seems like a coverage guy. That's what I'd be drafting him as. And as far as some of our other positions go, we could go for another lineman. I think we probably should. Early third. I think this is fair. Jamie Rhett. Kind of need a replacement for a lot of the interior guys anyways. And Jamie Rhett is that guy. 6'5", 320 with athleticism. He's a guard or a tackle. I don't see him as a center at all. So we added a lot of offensive lineman talent. But the problem with that is we do not know what the future holds. There's a couple of guys that, I mean, need contracts going forward. Who do we replace? I'm not sure. But linebacker is the biggest need. This guy's more of a true linebacker, whereas this guy, I can't tell, but I think I might just still take the risk on Mac Belton here. Absolutely insane looking. And let's trade up to Atlanta. Maybe Atlanta could do something with him, but we trade 82, Sam Cosmi, and a 7th next year for 65. I mean, I started Cosmi year one, and it just, I mean, he didn't do anything. Like, he was just non-existent. But Mac Belton, hoping for the best, and we get not the best. And I would probably, like I say, I'd still argue that he's a coverage style guy. It's very tough. I just don't see a guy with his stature and weight being a pass rusher. He's already a kind of undersized for linebacker, but for edge rusher, he's just super undersized. Like, he'll get tossed around like it's, you know, prison time with the lights out. We trade Logan Thomas, a 4th this and a 5th next to the Chargers. Tight end was one of their biggest needs. Logan Thomas might be old and a low overall, but he's still usable for a year. He was actually our leading tight end on our team this season. Finally going to give the chance for our other guy to be the true number 1, though. But Stevie Ellis, wide receiver, kind of a need. Curtis Samuel is on a contract year. Hasn't really played up to par, so I think we may let him go. We'll see. It kind of depends how good this guy is. And another normal development trade player, another guy that, you know, you can't miss, can't pass on. And, I mean, he's good. But what do I see for the future for him? I don't know. I'm not sure. We trade 146, a 6th, and a 7th this year for 130 to take another middle linebacker. This guy looks really, I mean, he's a little raw, but he is very fast, looks really fast. Brandon McAllister, see what we got. McAllister is a 68 overall, very solid player. Kind of reminds me of Cole Holcomb a little bit. I almost said Holcomb, which, I mean, that, you can't blame me for messing those words up. That, I mean, almost gave me an aneurysm. Of course, there was a center I want to see. There's 2 centers. We let them both go. I just didn't want to trade up. And, you know, it's just, we're going to talk about it. Trading up every round so far has been a bit strenuous. We're going to trade a 6 next year for 195 to take a quarterback named Curse. Do not have a backup. And this guy looks, you know, kind of similar to our starters. Obviously, a bit more raw. Chris Curse, Speedly. 61 overall, normal. I mean, he is something. It's kind of fun backup. And then I believe we're going to be taking a fullback, which we do not have an active one on the roster right now in the 7th round, which will be Mr. Solomon Gore. Hoping for the best, 68 overall, and, I mean, pretty good, actually. A little bit better in pass blocking than run blocking, but still a pretty good fullback. We definitely, I wouldn't say sold, but we definitely didn't do as well in the draft as I thought we were going to. I thought the guard was going to be hidden, which may have actually, affected our center selection here. As the other guy is usable, it's just, he's not great, right? So, not sure where we're going to play this guy, because right now we don't actually have that many open positions. But yeah, Jamie Rhett will be the new right tackle. Rosenberg, I don't want him to be a bust, but really, yeah, I think he'll start next year. Rhett will be the guy that kind of, quote-unquote, breaks out and, steals the starting job. Where the NFL, let's take a look at the middle linebacker. Was it? No, it wasn't him. It's a cool name and all that, but Williamson went all the way to 28, and he was a pretty solid player, but also normal, so not really mad with that. Anyone in the second? No, it was the third. Was it the third? It was one of the rounds. I can't remember. Back-to-back picks, though, I believe, or very close to back-to-back. Where was it? Come on, where were you? Yeah, here they were. So Perez, the hidden development trait, and Keys, the normal development trait. I was waiting for one of them. Perez was going to be the guy that I was going to go with, but if Perez went first, I would have went Keys. So at the end of the day, it was really about, where they were going to land. One was early, one was mid. I thought we could have maybe gotten down 6 more before trading up. That was not factual when we lost out on a hidden development trait center. It's 23, though. We already have a lot of linemen. We don't know where to play. Of course, Washington in real life would love to have that issue because as of late, they have no one to place everywhere. So it's Season 3, and this is what the roster looks like. Of course, Rob Jackson, the rookie, was pretty decent. Of course, would like to see the rushing numbers reflect that. Gibson has played just well enough. Pretty high overall, and I think we do have to pay him this season. But yeah, like I said, just well enough. As far as receivers go, I would like to see Samuel earn a contract here because I believe he does need a contract right now, if I'm not mistaken. That might not be true, actually. What was I thinking about with this guy? Oh, it is. Okay, so it was a little bit shorter of a deal than I thought. I thought it was a 4-year. I guess my brain knew better than I did. The tight end, low overall still, but, a lot of potential. The O-line's better this year, better for potential going forward. I mean, realistically, we just need to get better on offense, just play better. And then defensively, we're pretty much set. We might just need a new number 2 corner, but we look pretty good across the board, and we are a very high overall. 86 overall has got to put us in the top 10. So playoffs should be almost guaranteed, especially in this division. And then maybe, maybe make a run. Who knows? So we have someone looking to retire early, and it's Brandon Sheriff. Please, don't. I can't let the team down. As long as we're winning and playoff contenders, I'll be okay. But if my heart isn't in it and we're losing, I'm out. Coach. Oh my God, please. So, resulting in a significant hit to his injuries. Winning will help Brandon Sheriff stick around while going on a losing streak could lead to his retirement. What? Please don't, Brandon. Please, just do not. Oh no. Oh no. Can I ignore it? Like, I want to be realistic, right? It's a really, man. Oh, he's all temp. Temp 5 negative. He's 31. He's getting there, but he should stick around. What is he doing? It's just because of this stupid trash team. Please. And of course, we already lost to Dallas once. We're probably going to do it again, which is just great. Please win. Yes. Come on, go on a winning streak. Come on. It's the Dolphins. Oh, we did win 2 in a row. 4-3. I'm feeling a lot better recently. Still not where I'd like to be but as long as we're winning, it shouldn't take long to get there. Oh! Are the ratings back at least? Is it 100%? It's starting to feel better. Yeah! Hell yeah. Okay, this is interesting. It makes me feel sad, but it is what it is, I guess. And we're moving on. Winning games. We're winning games. Brandon Sheriff can't be mad anymore. We're 6-3, baby. We're 6-4, baby. Come on. Negotiate watch. Brandon Sheriff is one of them. It's like, well, pal, you kind of said you didn't want to play anymore. Wow, we have a lot of expensive signings. So Fuller's a 2-year deal. Cornerback is really hard to get. Of course, I did see Chase Young. I'm just trying to ignore that massive deal while I can. Gibson will give the 5-year deal worth about... I mean, running backs are a dime a dozen. He's playing at an average level, so I'm going to give him an average contract in response. Cameron Curl, he's a safety. Once again, about average, so a $36 million deal. 6 years is quite a bit, I will admit, but it is what it is. Chase Young, I mean, just do the thing. You need an edge rusher that's elite. Sweat doesn't seem to be that guy, so Chase Young better be. And we got him at a steal, right? 20, just about 20, maybe a little under 20 per year, which is not bad for both sides. And I think you signed Samuel. Let's see, how good is he? He's very fast, and he's good at catching, but his route running could use some work. I think he's just good enough, but it's a little risky without... Man, he actually played really poorly for us. He's really not done a lot, honestly. How much is he asking for? I mean, the tag isn't that much more, right? The tag would be like 17 to 20. He's asking for, what was it, like about 13 probably? Maybe a little less, maybe a little more. I'm just willing to just, tag him, if he's even worth tagging. So we're not going to win the division, but, like I was about to say, but it seems that we are in the playoffs at 11-6, which is not bad. It's not bad at all. Let's take a look at the schedule. We had a few breakout opportunities, none of them succeeded, so that's why I didn't show you. It kind of sucks that it's always like Terry McLaurin. Like, yeah, he's going to clearly get 200 yards or 4 touchdowns against a really solid team, which has happened twice in this season. Rob Jackson, not bad, 4,500 yards, 34 touchdowns, 14 picks. Gibson, he's over 1,000 yards, but man, he's not playing like an elite player, which is why he didn't get paid like one. Curtis Samuel, that's good enough for the tag, but realistically, like, he's not going to get a dev up from those numbers. What do? I don't know. Like, you kind of was assuming Diami Brown was going to be the starter, or the number 2 guy at least, and he just didn't. Of course, Sweat, we're talking about him, goes 12.5 sacks, has more than Young, has more than Payne, more than Jonathan Allen. I love when that happens. It makes me feel great. Interceptions, Kendall Fuller with 3. Daniel Carlson's having really good seasons with us. And as far as the players of the year go, I don't think we would have had anyone, right? I can't really think of anyone. Maybe a pass rusher? How close were we? Well, we had D-line, so number 6. I mean, okay. Made the playoffs. There's something, I guess. Higher overall than Dallas. It's not super easy to get. 87 overall team going against the division rival Dallas Cowboys, who I believe we split 1-1. We have the win streak on them. Amari Cooper is looking solid with those numbers. But yeah, let's get it going. Let's see if we can actually make the damn postseason more than just, one and done. I just want to win a damn game, even if we lose the next week. It is what it is. Dallas comes out with a score. We do not respond with one. Down 7-0, 7-all. Okay, I mean, a nice little turnaround. Defense is, well, other than that touchdown, was playing pretty damn well. And this is why you don't praise the defense. We're just getting smoked now. Offense, wake up, dude. I'm not saying defense is great, but Dallas's defense sucks. And, of course, we lose by 10. Dallas's defense is awful. We should not be getting locked up like that. Come on, man. That is just disgrace. I don't even know why I'm looking at these numbers. It doesn't even matter. Come on, dude. Wake up. You know what, Roger Hughes? You're fired, pal. Get the hell off the team. I don't even want to see you. We hired Rod Starling from the Raiders. Not the worst offensive coordinator to go for, and yeah, I just can't. All the talent in the world, and we're just not doing it. I need something. I need something to change. As the Browns and the Panthers are in the Super Bowl, the winner is the Cleveland Browns. Said it before it even showed up, because let's just be honest with ourselves. Any dev-ups? And no, doesn't surprise us, though. And then defensively, Sweat actually goes to Superstar, which makes it a very interesting time to be alive. I don't know what his contract is like. I can't really remember. And I think that was the only dev-up, unfortunately. But even though we have to pay a couple of people next season, we are going to save a little bit of money with William Jackson going. Also, the question is Brandon Sheriff going to be here? Brandon Sheriff seems to still be around, which is a good thing. We have 84 staff points to use, obviously. Negotiations, we could get Curtis Samuel back for a year, which is probably a good idea. I do not want to pay him the money, which is ironically enough less, because obviously he did regress a little bit, I imagine. Speed went down 1. I mean, this is a tag every day of the week. I gave him a $17 million offer with $14 million guaranteed, and I can see why he declined, because the tag is a lot. He can go to free agency for that price. Hopefully he gets paid, but I'm not going to pay that. Wait a minute. What? I had no idea that was a thing. What? Okay, I did not even know that. Unlock one player in re-signing who is not interested. That's kind of cool. But I had no idea. Guaranteed trade package for current user pick during the draft? So does that mean no matter what, you're always going to have a trade down or trade offer? But look at this. Non-X Factor user players will be valued 1 dev trade higher than actual in trades. The problem is the trades aren't perfect, so I can never tell what's worth anything, you know? Increased XP gains for cornerbacks. I mean, I don't really care about that stuff too much. Reset 1. I don't really care about that too much. Okay, I mean, that's interesting, I suppose. I mean, I don't want to get that because, once again, I usually just base my own realism, and that is far from realistic because basically any 28-year-old that's star is going to be valued very high. Superstar saves 28-plus-year-olds all the time and by a lot. So them valuing them as superstar is super unfair because they're going to die soon. That's how it works, even in real life. So Diami Brown is 24 years old, needs a contract himself, 81 overall. Kind of fits perfectly with the Curtis Samuel, you know, I wouldn't say release, but let go. He's like pretty much a similar player, just a lot worse in medium and short. But he is a better deep route guy, technically by a little bit. We also do have Ellis sitting there, who's going to be the perfect number 3 no matter what. And offensive line, Sheriff back to his high overall. Treader, I ended up offering the 9, was it 8 to 10 mil offer. Worth it, I suppose. He's still a pretty high overall, 82. May draft someone for the future, but left tackle right now isn't looking great. Rosenberg might actually just take over the spot there. Defensively, though, probably need a corner. Could definitely use an outside linebacker, but I mean, I kind of like where we're sitting. We're looking pretty good right now. Maybe just go for a high-ticket wide receiver in free agency and just call it a day. Can we actually get rid of Chase as well? Oh, hell yeah. See you later. We could have traded him for something, but I don't know what the hell he's worth, so screw it. Diami, we got to obviously re-sign. Jamin, we can re-sign. That's not too bad. Carlson, I want to re-sign. We'll see if he's worth it. And then we're good on signing. So, I mean, we can kind of splurge here if there's a solid wide receiver. T. Higgins. Not a bad name. Pretty good number 2 fit. We need a guy that's good in the short range department. I don't absolutely hate it. Tyron Smith could be clutch too, but that's a lot of money. Like, I'd imagine this is going to be over 20 mil per year. Oops. Let's take a look. So 41.4. Does it even put us ahead of the Niners? It puts us. I mean, I could pay that. Obviously, we could pay that, but I don't think it's worth it. Samuel's getting an offer. Why would they be getting same price when Chase Claypool is by far better because he's younger? I mean, I think Chase Claypool is another type of guy that we could use. Really comes down to who's better. Also, who's getting paid, because the Panthers seem to be offering quite a bit there, where the Vikings, I don't know if they're actually offering that much. T. Higgins went up very high in overall in this, though. Question is, do I offer on 2 wide receivers and hope I don't get both? But yeah, T. Higgins is a very good fit for us. We need a possession guy, and he's that guy for sure. 4-year 67's a little costly, but I wouldn't mind it. I'd be all about it. The question is, will he sign, though? I don't know. This is a disgrace. No Higgins. Gilmore wanted a 1-year 15. I gave him a 1-year 16.8 with 13 mil of it guaranteed. He declines. This guy's a random backup. DeCastro's our new guard, but who cares? And this Daniel guy is also a backup. So, you know, I thought maybe I was spending too much in free agency. I'm not going to get anything in free agency. And the only wide receiver left is Tyler Boyd, but who the hell wants him for 57 mil? This is scuffed. I mean, Brandon Ayuk. Oh, my. This is an L. This is an L, straight up. Not getting that wide receiver was an L. Oh, yeah, Michael Pittman. Let me pay money for that guy. He's a backup. Who cares? Ayuk is actually not terrible. Actually, screw Ayuk. We're just going to use Diami. Unless you draft someone. All right, so we don't necessarily need a wide receiver. However, these 2 wide receivers look pretty good. Do we do it? How old is Danny? 22. Josh Vance is 21, so that would be, that looks super good. A- Z route, B+ catching, A- spec. Would you make the argument that Dyami Brown could maybe be worth like a high third? Maybe, right? So I don't know. Like, this Josh Vance guy just looks elite. Like, he looks really good. I do have a middle linebacker, Marcus Nance, but I would probably need to make a trade up to try even get a chance at him. I'm going to grab him, and if he's normal dev, my whole offseason is just shot. Going for him, Josh Vance. 75 overall hidden. Pretty solid out the gate. I mean, a little raw, I guess, but I don't know how he's not faster than that, though. That seems a little weird. But he's the new number 2. I'm trading Dyami. I'm actually going to keep 22 this year for the second round. I'm going to give him the third. To put in perspective of how much they need a wide receiver, Kupp and Woods are still their starters. Just throwing that out there. This is many years down the line. They are a lot lower than they started. But we ended up getting pick 3, and this will likely be the middle linebacker that we had because he looks really solid. Where is he? I might have moved him up already. Marcus Nance, absolutely insane. I do want to take a look at some of the other guys, though, just to make sure we're not selling. This guy's pretty good, but he's like a pure center, which is one of the easiest linemen to get. I mean, there's other good players, too, but I think you just got to go with Nance and just call it a day. Marcus Nance, that's the choice, and he is a 75 overall as well, and hidden as well, and oh my, look at the speed. 91 speed, 91 excel. He's a freak. Automatic starter, potential rookie of the year already. You also have this guy who looks really good, but we just don't need a pass rusher. I almost want to take Luke Rice as well, and depending on what our linebacker situation is, do we have to pay Cole Holcomb, or did we... I think we paid him for a longer term, and I think he's just going to stick around, right? Cole Holcomb seems to be here till probably 30, right? I would assume we gave him a 4-year deal, probably worth like 35 or something ridiculous, which, I mean, it seems like he's playing up to that for sure. Yeah, worth it. Screw it. Don't need that Rice guy. He'd be sitting for 2 years, even though he's probably a talent and a half anyways. We also do have this Cam Barlow guy who looks really, really good. Don't really need safety and don't need linebacker. He's very solid, though. I do want Streeter. I don't know. We're just going to trade down, I think. So it's not quite fair. They're actually getting like 4, and that's calculating that 4th round would have been this year. So it is what it is. They're going to get a little... What? They're gaining. They get 4 points of value, and that's, once again, considering that they think that we're getting that 4th round this year rather than next year. Just take some random dude, please. Come on, man. So we got the trade through. We should still be able to get the corner. I kind of want to see what the Bengals end up taking, and they take a pretty good linebacker. It looks good on the surface. This might be a little early for that, that cornerback, but I don't want to lose him. We wanted a cornerback in the first round, but the Packers ended up taking him. So Monte Streeter, kind of a slot type, but, if he's good enough, he could play anywhere, and he's a hidden development trade, and they said we should have actually taken him with our first-round pick. That's how good his true talent is. Very solid player, slot type, low catching, though. Really strange. I don't know. But, I mean, he's usable. But once again, in the slot, he's really never going to be a number 2. It might be a little bit early, but middle of the 4th, I'm going to take Tremaine Freeman. Looks like he has a chance, and he does with hidden. 69 overall, very raw. Probably be a backup this season. Could go to center, though. So we'll just see kind of based on what we need and who we actually have to fill that. We did get DeCastro. Treader's back, so probably will just be a backup. And yikes. I guess we're going to take Mike Stokes, potential kick return guy. 69 overall, very fast. And yeah, like I said, kick return guy. And we have no picks remaining. I'm not going to... I sold. I actually did want to trade in. And the fact that there's no back out option is just hilarious by EA. There's no cancel. Damn, dude. I wanted to see... I wanted a kicker and a punter, but I forgot that I did. All right, Josh Vance, how much did we sell? Please. Please be higher than star. Be a god for me, baby. Oh, we sold. I mean, he's all right, but... I mean, he was not worth that pick at all. Marcus Nance, the automatic... do we need a right out? I think it's a right outside linebacker. Already better than the other guy. I would love to switch the dev. I guess it wouldn't really matter, as he's only star as well. And then the cornerback, we also have the linebacker. Watch he'll be the lineman. Watch he'll be the superstar, the lineman. The position that I don't really care too much if he's superstar or not. Obviously, it'd be nice to develop quicker, but I mean, it just seems like we kind of rebuilt rather than reloaded, you know? Not a super fan of what's happened here today, but not much to it than to just accept the facts of life. And what did we have? So I wanted Knox. The Packers took him, like I said, 5'10". Good enough to play cornerback number 2. But if he's not higher than star, I suppose it doesn't really matter because, you know, we already have a star guy in the waiting room anyways. And he'll be the new number 2, and he is only star. There was a couple of other wide receivers we did have the choice of, and we decided not to take them. So that's our... Look at the guy that went right before us. Rashard Linder. I will say, because he's 23, I probably wouldn't have taken him. But obviously, it would have been a huge mistake not to have, because he looks absolutely insane. Star dev, but still miles better than our guy. I don't even care if he's older. He should be older because he's better than our guy by many years. Here was a hidden development 6'6" guy. Of course, that's exactly what the Buccaneers need, is more talent. Although I will say, obviously, they're a lot older now, and I don't even think Tom Brady's there anymore. I've seen him in free agency, star dev. So nothing special, just, you know, really solid because he's tall and fast. Was Ruggs one of the options? I think he was 5'8". I needed a number 2 wide receiver, not a number 3. We already have plenty of those types on the team. But we'll see how good he is. If he's like, you know, X Factor, which he wasn't, would have been worth it. So it doesn't really matter. And I mean, it might just be facts of life. Like, you know, can't do anything about it. Danny Adams, was he really that much faster than the guy we took? I would love to look back at this and see what the dev was, or the speed. There's no way this guy was that much faster than the guy we took. There's no way. There's just not a shot, is there? I don't know. All right, so here's what the roster looks like. I will admit our quarterback sliders were a little low for XP, so they were at like 115. I bumped them to 140, so you should see some upgrades there. And tight end was at 130. Apparently that's not high enough, so we went 150. Receivers are about 148. O-line's like 165 each. Of course, made up of a couple of guys that are kind of on the older side. Treader's going to be gone. DeCastro's going to be gone. Sheriff hopefully doesn't talk about retirement again because he could be gone. He's 32. We really just have our right tackle set, and then maybe Freeman will be the starting center in the future, but this is kind of pointing towards a failed rebuild. I just feel like we really needed Higgins, and we could have used Gilmore, and I think we could have won a Super Bowl or made it close, whereas we missed both of those players, and now, once again, I feel like we're kind of in rebuild mode a little bit here. Like, the defense seems absolutely set, right? Like, we are loaded. This front four is the best you can get, pretty much. The linebackers are getting there. The corners, we could use a number 2, but, I mean, our guy looks all right. Free safety set at 85 overall. Buckner, 79 overall. Young and very, he's really fast, really good. Offensively, got the number 1 wide receiver, got the quarterback, got the running back, tight end. We just need some more, we're there, right? We just need some offensive talent. So we have some re-signings. Jamin Davis is a guy that I'm absolutely willing to re-sign. Let's give him that. Let's make it 50 even. Why not make it 50 even? Treader, I've loved you, but I'm going to leave you. DeCastro, no. I mean, we've got money. We got money. Daniel Carlson, he's played well for us, but I don't know if he's going to be able to even play at 30 with only normal dev. Realistically, EA should have it set where kickers don't regress to like 33, 34, but I don't know. I haven't really tested it. Tress Way, I think he's, past his point as well. So no one to resign. Gotta love the fact that Gilmore and Higgins did not sign with us. Headed to the playoffs, I think if we don't win, we lose, and we win, and we still don't. Well, I mean, obviously, we don't win, we lose is obvious, but if we, didn't win, we had no chance at the playoffs, and it doesn't matter, as we lost 5 games in a row. Don't get me wrong, very tough schedule, but you can't lose 5 in a row, dude, if you want to make the playoffs. Another wasted season, it seems. Although Vance, how many yards did he have? I did put the Chiefs playbook on halfway through the season, and Vance with 1,600 yards, 15 touchdowns, is guaranteed, I would assume, right, to go to Superstar. We had 4 guys with 100 tackles or more. Sweat is looking really good, where Young is doing nothing after his contract. Vernon James should go to Superstar. We should have some dev-ups for sure. We had an okay season. We just didn't win enough games to make the postseason. Must have been like right on the edge. Unfortunately, that does nothing for me. We did not win Offensive Rookie of the Year, despite how good of our season we had. McDonald must have been a quarterback. But speaking of best wide receiver, Vance wins it, which is not bad. Best DB goes to Vernon James. So once again, could have been a worse losing season, and we didn't technically have a losing season, but didn't make the postseason, which is a losing season, regardless of how you want to view it. But yeah, final year, should have some money. I don't know, dude. It's just get lucky, I guess. It's really all we can do is just get lucky, dude. Winner of the Super Bowl is the Seahawks over the Jaguars. Let's take a look at Mr. Vance. Vance goes to Superstar. Jackson also goes to Superstar. 25 years old, needs a contract. Finally Superstar. He's an 83 overall. He's pretty good. Just not been able to utilize his speed too often. Vance, of course, Superstar. He should be an 83 overall, which is pretty good. Energizer. I feel like he should get something like deep. Something with deep, because he's obviously very fast. And that's kind of his style. Defensively, James didn't go up in dev. That is a massive scam. Nance, of course, goes up to Superstar. Buckner also goes up to Superstar. And then it looks like Sweat went to X Factor. No dev up for Payne either, unfortunately. But Sweat up to X Factor. So some decent dev ups, but once again, another season where we just don't make the postseason. We've only made it once, I believe. And that one time we lost the very first game. So magical year 5, I don't know. I also imagine that Sheriff will be gone next season. Probably. Let's take a look at these negotiations, though. JC Treader, actually still decent, but I think we can do better. Better than Shredder. Daniel Carlson's still good. He's playing pretty well still, I believe. So a 1 year 4.2. I mean, I don't think that's true, but sure. Tag is literally less than what we offered you. Look what you've done to yourself. Jaden Samuels, nah, dude, nah. I guess we'll tag Daniel Carlson. I don't really want to deal with getting a new kicker. $66 million to work with. I don't know what we need, because our corner number 2 actually played really well. What is his overall? He's surely 85 or something right now. About an 85 overall. That's workable. It's usable. Cole Holcomb, I don't know if we can actually release him yet. We could. I don't know if that's really worth it, though. Deron Payne's 28 now, right? 28 years old, still usable, obviously. Offense. I mean, I guess just pay a hell of a ton of money for some offensive linemen. I mean, I don't know. That's really all I can say at this point. Aaron Donald's there. Don't need him. David Bakhtiari, a 2 year 40. We could definitely use tackle. I'm going to just give it to him. And a 2 year $42 million deal isn't enough. Can I guarantee the whole thing and see what he wants? So apparently to EA, giving the full contract guaranteed is the exact same as if you were to just offer him the normal contract. Seems to make sense to me. Jalen Waddle's here. I mean, he's not even that good. So we get cucked over. I'm just going to pay anyone. Like, we have all this money and no one to pay. Love it. I'm not going to give him that much. Screw that. You know what? Screw it. I am going to pay him. A 2 year 50. I know he's old, but real life, these linemen are getting anywhere from 20 to 24 anyways. He's a 92 overall. He is an absolute god. He's ranked 4th in best for offensive linemen, or tackles anyways. Of course, run blocking is lacking a little bit, I can admit, but we need the pass blocking anyways. That's what we're trying to build around here anyways, so I'm cool with it if he's cool with it. If we lose David Bakhtiari as well, I'm done. Thank you. It only costed us half of $100 million for 2 years of an old man. Oh my lord, there's no shot in real life I would ever pay that. I'm 33 years old. I mean, nah, dude. But 33 and good here, worth every penny. All right, so I mean, realistically, O-line is still one of our biggest needs. Connor Weldon looks really solid. We're going to take him. He's 21. Lower overall than I thought, but hidden development trait, worth it. There was another guy, Tucker. We'll compare the two later, but Tucker was 2 years older, so unless he's superstar and our guy's star, it's impossible for him to be better, basically. Like, it's literally impossible. 2 years is a lot of time. The worst part is there was another really good lineman here, but I was like, you know what? I want to guarantee myself some talent. I'm going to do it. Devontae Davenport is a guy I'm definitely going to trade up for, and this guy's good too. I don't think wide receiver is that big of a need, though. So we're going to trade up for the DT, and we'll see if we do anything else. We trade 48 this, 104, and a 4th round next year for 35 from Detroit, which will be a defensive tackle who can replace Daron Payne, maybe even Jonathan Allen. I don't know who the hell he's replacing, but he's replacing someone in the future. Devontae Davenport looks really good, cool name, and he's a 76 overall normal, insanely talented. You knew something was up. It couldn't have been that obvious, but he is obviously very talented, so quote-unquote not obvious, still a really good player. And, of course, Dennis Clinton is an early second, such a good player, but, I mean, if he's not hitting, that's a sell. I'd love to see how good he is. I will not be making the trade up, though. You also have Mike Saunders, who looks pretty good, too. And I believe both are 23, right? Dennis Clinton, oh, he's 21, so that is actually pretty big, but oh well. We had a 4th round next year to move down to 86, which is, I mean, maybe a little high, but I suppose it's still doable. It's still fair. And then we moved on again, and we gained a 6 next year, and this is where I'm going to probably take one of the wide receivers. Why not? They look talented. They're both there. I don't know who's better, mid-second or mid-seconds. I suppose we could use a slot guy a little bit more than a number 1 type, because our number 3 or slot guy is actually about to go soon. This guy, decent, but once again, raw as hell. I fell for the age, didn't I? Fell for the age. We gained a 7th next year to move to 28 in the 4th, which is where we're going to be taking our strong safety, who actually looks pretty good. Nick Franklin, late 6, looks really talented. Could even be a corner. 70 overall, and wow, he's slow. Damn, that 4.54 went all to his acceleration, didn't it? That is an L. We got a 5th and a 7th next year for this pick from Buffalo. We're going to move down to the 6th round. Probably going to take a special teams type of player. The kicker, Sullivan, for the future. 72 overall, not bad. A+ is only 90 kick power. Gotta love that. It's so bad. Oh, well. Peter Peterson, what a name. What a name. Fullback, Cameron Webster for the future. Our fullback needs a contract, I believe. 6'7" overall. He's 23, but obviously fullbacks usually don't get a second contract. This guy's actually pretty decent, but yeah, Gore is going to be on his way out most likely. And then for our final pick, assuming the punter is there, we're going to take him, and he is Mr. Shane Weary, even though we have Jamie Gillian for the long term. But Shane Weary, 92 kick power. That's one of the highest I've seen all Madden, which is just great. I love to see that. You can't use these guys. I mean, what do they expect you to do? Develop a kicker for 10 years in a franchise? Should be starting at like 93 kick power, let's be honest. Connor Weldon, the automatic. I don't know if he actually has a spot. Whether he's star or superstar, I'm just going to check him out. I don't really care if he starts or not. He's just kind of a guy for the future, most likely. Only star, kind of compare him to the other guy. Davenport was only normal. Actually, everyone was normal, unfortunately. So, all right. Take a look at the left guard. I don't know who this guy was. Justin Tiller, also hidden development trait, similar to our guy. Where is the left guard? He went all the way to 23. John Tucker, we had a 50-50 chance, and age never fails me. He's 2 years older, and he had no dev. For an offensive lineman, that is just like death. Like, you just might as well get rid of him. Where was the wide receiver here? He has Dennis Clinton, hidden development trait as expected. Pretty damn fast, really tall. This guy looks like a beast, actually. 6'5", 21 years old. Looks really good. I hope he's not better than star. And he is only star. I'm a little surprised, man. A lot of these guys have just been kind of, average. Like, none of the players we've missed are like, some gods. They're just kind of average. And here's Mike Saunders, who is also normal, so it didn't matter. Damn, that's kind of an L. We got to make some trades, but Chuba Hubbard, the backup running back, I mean, I don't understand why he's always in there. He's just, like, really good. Nwangwu never really got going. 27 years old, still speedy as hell, though. We trade Owens and Belton, both in their prime, to the Cardinals. We just found players that are better than them, and obviously we're just not going to keep guys that are nearing contract years and, need a contract. So here's the team for potentially the final year. This is year 5. That's kind of usually when we cut it off. It depends on how close we get. If we got to a championship or a Super Bowl and didn't win, well, if we get to the Super Bowl, fair enough. If we get to a championship and don't make the Super Bowl, then fair enough. Then we'll do another year, because we will be losing some players. Andrews was a 1-year deal, could be gone. Sheriff could retire. And even if he's not 88 overall, probably goes down to 84. David Bakhtiari probably drops down to a 90 or an 89. Maybe even retires. You never know with these guys. Looking at some of the other guys defensively, Deron Payne will probably regress. Jonathan Allen, he may have already regressed. He's 30 years old. Did he? He did a little bit. Fuller's going to regress. Holcomb will be gone. So, this is kind of the last year. Maybe next year's the last year, kind of around that time, though. So the window is, it's kind of like right now. I swear, if this is David Bakhtiari, I am not going to be looking at the rest of them. But if it's Sheriff, fair enough. Brandon Sheriff again, dude. Obviously convince him to stay. Oh, let him retire. No. All right. Maybe we'll lose him even faster than we thought. I might not even finish the damn season at this rate. Of course, the tandem, we did not succeed. I think we've won more than we lost, so let's do this calling it quits again and see what's up. I've been feeling a lot better. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Brandon. We just lost like 2 games in a row, and Brandon Sheriff's like, hell yeah, bro, let's keep playing. Okay. The season could have ended better, but at least we're here. I kind of got a little early with that because I thought Dallas lost, but I guess not. We go 11-6. I kept the Chiefs playbook on, and they changed the scheme to vertical zone, which of course led to a nice set of wins. I guess that's the only way to win in Sim is just to use the Chiefs offense. I was rocking a bunch of different offenses, and it was kind of the only one that worked, as usual. Rob Jackson killed it. Gibson had a lot of touchdowns. Rushing yards weren't great. Terry McLaurin and 2,100 yards. Zeitler, 1,000 yards. Finally, Antonio Gibson with 809. Josh Vance with 788 with 6 touchdowns. Blocking, David Bakhtiari, glad we paid all that money for him. Sack totals, Chase Young, finally. Sweat with 9, Payne with 9.5. Maybe he goes to superstar. Jonathan Allen does nothing. Fuller with 4 picks. Vernon James with 3, 2, 2, 2, 1. Kicking, Carlson, my guy. He's been so good for us. Absolutely love it. Let's take a look at awards. Maybe MVP, actually. And no, all the way down. It's because of the touchdowns. Not even on the list. Okay, he just cares about touchdowns, I guess. Where was our guy, though? Number 8 with 5,400 yards. Terry McLaurin, obviously best wide receiver, and we got best kicker. But we're in the postseason. I suppose you can't really ask for much more. We're here going against Minnesota. These two teams have had a couple of classic matchups in the past, so let's see if that continues. 92 overall to the 88 overall Vikings, who are obviously a very high potential team themselves. And, yeah, let's see. Please, just one win. Just one win. Like I said, if we can at least get to the championship round, we'll likely redo, or we'll do another season. But obviously, if we make the Super Bowl and lose, then, the job is done. Making the postseason a couple times, Washington can do that. But get to the championship, maybe get to the Super Bowl. I don't know if I see it. So that's kind of the goal here. At least make the Super Bowl 17-10. Minnesota's a good team, especially if they drafted a quarterback. I don't know if they did or not, but please. They're not that good. Thank you. 31-26, barely holding on. Classic matchup again, as expected. Jackson clutching up. Jason McDonald, they did draft a guy. That was actually the guy that won Rookie of the Year, so he's got to be halfway decent, I'd imagine. T. Higgins, the Thieves. These are the ones. Oh, my God. Damn, son. A couple of sacks. Carlson, no. You missed nothing in the regular season. Now you're missing when it matters the most. Although I suppose, with us, it doesn't always matter the most because we don't always show up. How good is Cameron Curl, actually? He's kind of on the slower side. Yeah, he developed pretty well, actually. He's pretty good. And then Rob Jackson, field general, I suppose. Gets to an 87 overall, not bad. And pretty good ratings. Deep accuracy is awful. I should have went with deep throwing. I hate saying deep throwing because I almost say the other. Vikings were only 8-9. They gave us that much trouble. The Cowboys, such a hit-or-miss matchup. The division is representing at least one of the spots in the championship, and the Cowboys are even lower than last year. 83 to our 94, was it? Something. 90-something, 92? I don't know, but if we lose this game, I don't even know what to tell you. Of course, the Chiefs on the other side are in their championship as well. Just beat Dallas. Please just beat Dallas. Come on. Just win against Dallas. That's all I ask for. Or not. 14-0, 14-3. I mean, I guess overalls don't matter. Dallas starts off good in the game. They must be always good, right? That's the rule of thumb, I would imagine. 21-18. Is this just gonna like keep going? Oh, we got a field goal. Nice. Daniel Carlson, my guy. Do we stop him? Not really. Kind of. Offense. I mean, they're moving, but they are running out of time here. I think we have the ability. It's just I think the game isn't going to allow us to. So we're going to come in and win this game if we can. And there's my boy, Terry McLaurin, who is just absolutely... Those play-action plays are deadly. It is on all Madden. I made sure of it. Those play-action plays are so freaking OP. And with that touchdown, that one-play touchdown, we go to the championship round. No one's going to be mad because it's Dallas. There was people happy still that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers beat Dallas. That proves it. And look at Diami Brown clutching up with the Cowboys, looking good. Really good yardage and all that, but unfortunately could not win. Only one could move on, I suppose. So I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry you never got your chance. We screwed you over, I know. I'm sorry. I hope he got to Superstar. What is this? No, you're not. I don't care. The hell does a solo battle got to do with... Like, I don't get it. I'm back in. EA, please. Just stop. Please stop. Thank you. And the Bears. Interesting. Play conference championship. Bears have... They signed a guy... They're going for the ultimate disrespect. They signed a guy off of our... Oh, they're cheating, dude. They are absolutely cheating. They are 100% asking this guy about the playbook. What the hell? We have 7 overalls on them, but it's probably about 90 to 92 with the fact that they know the playbook. There's probably a lot of people hoping for a loss here. 3-0. Chicago's defense is holding nicely. 3-all. Come on, boys. Score, please. 10-3. Now the defenses can just take over. I don't mind. It doesn't really matter anymore. Just play some defense, and we win. Not a high-scoring affair, but 24-10, we've done the job. Chicago's offense still just cannot get it done. We threw a pick. They did not. And maybe we should have went with like Baltimore's playbook just to see kind of what our rushing quarterback could do. Maybe next time we'll do that if we remember to. 24-10, Super Bowl. No matter what, this is the final season, so one way or another, some of us win. We got some upgrades. I actually want to make sure that Vance starts getting some of these other ratings going because he's basically like a deep route god. And yet, the rest, not looking so hot. The AI does upgrade linebackers pretty well. They kind of balance it out pretty, decently well. But cornerbacks and wide receiver, they are awful at. They are like, huh? What do you want? You want to just go one route and that's it? Okay. See if we got any dev ups. The yards might have gotten us an X Factor quarterback, in fairness. And was it Vance that was the main guy? No, I think it was Terry McLaurin again, wasn't it? The tight end could have went up in dev if that's even a possibility this year, which I don't know if it does or if it is. Terry McLaurin would assume was already an X Factor. Oh, he was not. I didn't even know that. Rob Jackson, of course, is an X Factor, 87 overall. I don't think he can get the thingy. He needs to be 90 improviser. Fast break, I suppose. And pass lead elite, I guess. It is what it is. And then defensively, any dev ups, we had Cole Holcomb go up to X Factor. I don't remember seeing his contract, his name on the contract list. Vernon James goes to Superstar, which is super clutch. Obviously, decent looking corners now. And Jamin Davis does not go up. That's fine. Really solid squad. Best roster in the league. Let's see if we can win it against the 15-2 Jaguars. 87 overall. I'm happy we finally broke through the EA BS. Of course, it did come in the fact that we had to use the Chiefs playbook, but still, at least we're here with a team that deserves to be here. And yeah, let's get into this and lose very sadly. It's gonna suck, dude. Please win the game. Not a bad start. They get a huge rushing touchdown back, though. A lot better performance for the offense than against Chicago. Jacksonville doesn't seem to have an answer. 24-10. 31-10. I think that's a GG. That is an absolute GG. We have been doing well. I like it. We have had a couple of rebuilds now that... Okay, relax. A couple of rebuilds now ending in Super Bowls. I know they're not always like that, and we had some early failures, but It's working. I really want to win a Super Bowl without the damn Chiefs playbook, though. I try Green Bay. I try Tampa. I try, what's the other one? A couple of other balanced ones where they actually kind of focus on the running backs. It doesn't matter. It just seems like it's all Chiefs or nothing. I know, once again, winning the Super Bowl in Sim is, really tough, but something's got to give with these overall differences, I mean, the Cowboys were the closest team to beating us, if I'm not mistaken, right? And, of course, they were the lowest overall team we played. I don't know. But the winner of the MVP for the Super Bowl is Mr. Kendall Fuller, who had a pick 6, which is obviously massive. I mean, that's a 14-point swing. They lost by 14. So, I mean, who knows what happens. Momentum would have been shifted as well. Overall, I love it. I do want to do more rebuilds on Next Gen, though, because obviously we're not getting the Next Gen celebration with these. But Next Gen is so laggy. It's so tough for me to do that. I'll try to do a Next Gen rebuild for next time, and we'll see what happens. But that's pretty much that. And we are going to take a look at the stats. So Rob Jackson just didn't turn the ball over. He was a game manager, but at least he didn't throw 3 picks, which obviously won us the game. James Robinson with a huge rushing touchdown. How long was that? 61 yards. Sweet. Receivers, I mean, it was just kind of like a really chill game. Our team just kind of dominated them on defense, and that was really the big difference. They have Ioannidis. That's interesting. Joey Sly missed a kick on top of it. They didn't hit that kick. They don't throw the pick 6. Who freaking knows? They maybe win the Super Bowl there. It's going to kick us out on the main menu. It will not let me upgrade players. I wanted to upgrade players before we left, but they're just like, no, sorry. But let's take a look at some of the players that we had, see how good they turned out. Obviously, some of you guys are probably Washington fans if you're watching this. If you're still watching this at this point, I mean, I appreciate it a ton. It's a long video to watch through. Antonio Gibson, 93 speed, 92 excel, 92 agility. Really solid back, actually. Wish I got a little bit more out of him, but he did play, decently well. Terry McLaurin crushed it. Very solid receiver all around, and obviously a very talented one. Let's take a look at Rob Jackson, who is, one of our earliest picks. Rob Jackson, oh, that's the wrong thing. Ratings, deep accuracy wasn't great. Play action never got up there. Awareness was a little low. Throw under pressure wasn't great. A good game manager, though. Definitely a good game manager. This guy, never developed at all. He is just about as average as they get. His route running sucks outside of medium. He does have good catching, and he's fast, but, man, he is lacking quite a bit. Let's take a look at Vance. He was new, but he got up there quick. Very good deep route receiver. Let's take a look at the defensive side of things now. We had a bunch of guys. I know Chase Young and them are kind of already guaranteed beasts, but this is how they ended up. Jonathan Allen obviously on the regression, but still really talented. Obviously a huge part of the team. Kind of had a bad season this year, but overall was very good throughout it. Deron Payne was pretty consistent. Sweat had a kind of a bad start, and then he just gunned it and never looked back. Very fast. I mean, we need a cornerback help. Maybe he could have just played corner. Might have just been willing to just put him over there. Kendall Fuller, 31 years old, of course, regressing a couple of times now throughout the last few seasons, still really good. Cameron Curl, very solid, underrated, just didn't really get talked about much, but very good player, obviously. Jamin Davis we'll take a look at real quick, and then I suppose we'll look at Cole Holcomb. Jamin Davis, pretty damn solid. Look at that zone coverage, 86 zone coverage. Cole Holcomb, obviously, probably regressed a few times, but overall still really solid, even at 30. And that is pretty much going to be the Washington football team rebuild, a realistic style. Hopefully it was realistic. Once again, I did like a season or a couple of seasons, and I came back to this. I'm pretty sure it was realistic style. Didn't want to forget. If you guys enjoy this one, maybe leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. Of course, like I said, if you're already a guy that a person that's watched, you're a normal viewer, a regular viewer, it means a ton to me that you're still watching. Leave a subscription on the second channel, maybe, PKR Plays, twitch.tv/NoPKR for streams, which we actually will be doing the rebuild portion of a fantasy draft rebuild that we did the fantasy draft for. We'll be doing that tomorrow around 10 p.m. Central Standard Time on that Twitch channel. I just said twitch.tv/NoPKR, and then twitter.com/NoPKR for just random tweets. That's about it. Thanks for watching. Should be at least Raiders tomorrow for franchise, and then maybe a video before that. I don't know. But like I said, thanks for watching. Hope you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya!